Well, thank you for joining me. This is my first unboxing video, and so excuse me if this doesn't go as smooth as some can. But what we have here is a made in China Neotec saw that is supposed to be a clone of the Stihl 660. So without further ado, and incidentally on the box it does say here that this box weighs 24 pounds. Also have a 3-foot bar. We'll check that out in a minute and move the camera, the bar, the box that came in is 7 pounds. So 24 and 7. And let's see what we got here. There's a heat wave outside, so I'm down here at my bar in the basement hiding from the heat. In New Hampshire, we don't do heat that well. All right, so first what we have here is a case for the outside of the bar. Looks like a toolbox. We'll get into these things. Wow, hearing protection, didn't expect that. Ear protector, they feel pretty flimsy. And here's something I wasn't quite sure of. This is a full wrap bar, so that's kind of cool for a saw of this size. Michael Jackson's glove, pair of them, and a little Neotec fuel mixing canister with some measurement guides over here. That's interesting. If I can actually get the saw out of here. Whoops, hitting the bar glasses. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh wow, a giant pull handle. Hopefully there's one on it. And a really short scabbard, manual, and safety glasses. So let's get this box out of here. Crash right over there. Now, this is kind of what we're looking for. Let's see what we got. This thing is a beast. Now, I've watched a few other people opening these up, and at some of the other companies, because if you're watching this, you know that there's a handful of companies that are now making these clones. There's Pharmac, there's the one that starts with an H, the blue saws, whatever that is. Okay, that's good. There is another handle. So, kind of odd. They give us like a really large handle, I'm guessing as a spare, with a little spare rope. But let's see. Overall, it's got a metal guard down here. Okay, so this is kind of like a protector, so that must kind of bolt on, I'm guessing. It looks like it fits on. Interesting. Maybe a larger pro saw. I am no expert, but I am I'm a Stihl guy, if you will. Most people in chainsaws are either Husqvarna or Stihl. Johnson Reds are pretty much a Husqvarna. So this is great. I'm kind of curious as to what the air filter looks like. Oh, that's all right. Oh, they're missing the screw to hold it on. Well, quality when it comes from China. And on this one, it looks like there's a nice actual badge up here on top. There was somebody with one from either this company or a different one that had it was like hand painted on the top. It might have been a Pharmac. It was kind of like strange, but let's see what this bar looks like, because this is also the bar that went with it. Like I said, we did a 3-footer here for this, and the whole reason that I've got this saw and this setup is actually because my family makes maple syrup, and we are embarking on building a new sugar shack here on my property this year, and I'm going to be cutting down some fairly large white pine trees, and I've got an Alaskan mill that I'm going to be bolting onto this thing, and so probably have maybe half a dozen or more large pine trees. I say large pines, like say 18 to 26 inch DBH diameter at breast height trees. We'll be tipping those over. Don't need this massive bar for that, but sure makes it easier. And then we're going to be attaching a Amazon, I'll have to do another unboxing video, maybe Alaskan mill to it. And I have a friend that's got like an actual, like, higher quality one. We'll maybe test those against each other as well. But this is nice. It's a monster. This is the Neotec Speed Pro Solid Bar. Wow, 7-pound bar. I believe there was a chain with it. Did that come out? Nope, it's on this side. Here we go. All right, 3/8 pitch. And I'm hoping it's pro chain. I'd be actually kind of peeved if this is safety chain. I just don't care for this stuff. Up here in the Northeast, advanced tree fellers, if you will, do use a lot of plunge cutting techniques. Typically because we cut a lot more hardwood trees that are often bent over, and you can get a lot of pressure in barber chairing if you mess those up too bad. I'm used to steel chain, but oh, it almost looks like the Stihl Oil-O-Matic chain. This is a big one. And why I say that is because of these ports, these little circles that help move the oil, and it is pitch. Wow, there is a lot of teeth on this thing. I wasn't sure if it was going to be skip chain or what, but this is going to have a whole lot of bite, like a whole lot of, holy smokes, there is a tooth every inch and a half here, I swear to God. This is going to be a son of a gun to sharpen this thing, so we'll be really careful when we're cutting some low stumps. But yeah, first impressions overall though. Let's see. That compression, I hit the compression release. Huh. I'm digging it. I'm going to assemble it and be right back. So I spun this thing around, and I just kind of wanted to see the clutch and the chain brake engage. Seems to work. And bunch of tools in the tool bag. But I did find the dogs, which are, let's see how well they shine. They're like stainless steel. I'll see if they rust, but you know, I'm sure they're made with the finest of Chinesium. And the guard here is, I believe that's aluminum as well. So trying to figure out how everything gets assembled. Want to use the right bolts in the right spot, so I switched to manual. And a couple of things stand out to me, because the manual doesn't do you much good. If you have an idea of how a chainsaw works already, you're already ahead of the game. But it gives you the directions on how to use the chain tensioner, and that's the Husqvarna style. And so this is the manual for this saw, which is made as a clone of a Stihl saw, and so that's not where your chain tensioner is. And something else jumped out to me on page whatever. What the heck was it? Ah, shoot. It's just this is very generic. Oh, the air cleaner. This isn't even the air cleaner on this saw. This is a different style altogether, so it doesn't really show you how to assemble anything. And it does have like piston ring compressors, like even as a class 3 chain, class C chain faller, like you're not pulling pistons out of a saw like you. If you are, you're a very advanced saw repairman for sure. And this must be some assembly as required. So here's what I need, and I won't bore you with me messing. All right. I've been wrestling with this thing for a minute. I think I've got the right screws in the right spot. Nothing quite lines up perfectly, but close enough. And it comes with a couple of these interesting tools. This nice torque bit, also I'm guessing it's 8mm hand driver with, it's almost like a socket at the end of that, and a nice good looking scrunch here with a flat head on one end. So I'm assuming, yeah, it should do the bar nuts and the spark plug, and voila, the underneath it's got this skid plate, I guess. I had to run 2 bolts that go through the bottom of the handle up into the body of the saw, and it seems to be and it's metal. I don't know what kind of metal. I'm not sure it's too grand, but there she is. I'm gonna work on getting the dogs and the bar on. Coming up. Okay, I think we've got it here. I've got this dog installed. This one, it seems to be the only way that it can be mounted because of the way that this thing here lies. So now let's take a ridiculously huge bar from China, and I can see if I can wrestle this here chain. After way too much of a battle here, I had the darndest time, shoot, I'm friggin' sweaty, with the chain tensioner. Just trying to reverse that thing, like the mechanism inside. I hope it holds up, and it's already starting to make me go, I don't know. But from what I understand, guys will just replace it with a steel part if it does go. I was finally able to get it backed off enough to get this giant bar and chain on, so let's see if we can. Oh, I think I need to put this thing on the dogs. I have used several saws that have a full wrap bar and the double dogs, but I've never owned one. So as anyone that's probably watching this video already knows, that this saw is, depending on what, like where you order it and what kind of a deal, it's like the $400 to $500 range. And there we go, a couple of bar nuts, and we'll put this other little nut on for the dogs. And hopefully I'll tighten that up in a minute, but let's just get a couple of turns on this thing. A bit more finger tight. Before we get too far, let's hope that we can still get to the adjuster. Put a little bit of pressure down. Here we go. I'm not sure if you can see that chain from your angle. Tightening up now. Wow. And that may take a few times, a few bits of finesse to figure out how to get that good and snug. And just like that, let's get these things relatively tight just to swing it about and hold it here. And I'll have to get it out and test it. Now, sadly, I've got a few extra parts, so hopefully I'll figure those out before we're trying to run. But, wow, this is like some Western timber faller's beast saw here. You will see loggers in this region. Oh, I'm going to put my Guinness mat underneath this thing so that it doesn't chew up the bar. But, let me see, are you guys able to see that? This is, man, it's a beast. And it's not full of fuel or oil yet, but yeah, that probably builds up some shoulders running this here sucker. So yeah, so far so good. This is just the unboxing, so pretty soon hopefully I'll show it running, hopefully tipping over a few trees and then milling up some lumber. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you hanging in this long. Please like and subscribe, and there'll be a lot more to come as far as cutting wood and ATVs and three-wheelers later on.